Hey there YouTube, this is Broken Stoic, and this is the first of many in a new series of build videos. Without further ado, let's get that ball rolling. First and foremost, you can see on this little chart here that we're going to go ahead and rate each build. So I'll go through and explain each category now. Single target evaluates how well the build deals with a single individual mob. AOE target obviously deals with area of effect, so killing more than one, more than two, more than three, and so on and so forth. Experience is how quickly that this build levels up and how quickly this build gathers alternate advancement points. Content clearing rates how quickly or how efficiently and how many targets that it can kill. Skips is an evaluation of how quickly it can move between bosses and how it can disengage from bosses if the case or situation calls for it. Gearing refers to the amount of items required to make this build work. And last but not least, AA. This score will show you how many AA you need in order for this to come online. The first build we're going to cover is a build brought to you by Scotty Emerson, Ranger, Cleric, Bard. And we're going to discuss the white damage version of this. We're not focusing on procs, we're not focusing on spells, we're focusing on exclusively bow damage and making it hit as hard as we can. This particular build rates 4 out of 5 in single target damage, 1 out of 5 in AoE targets, unless you also get yourself a spell damage set, at which point you can utilize Denin's Dirge in order to AoE. The experience rate is about a 3.5. You have headshot, and it's extremely fast as long as you have headshot targets, but it is also restricted to specifically headshot targets. Content clearing is a 5 out of 5. This build absolutely destroys everything. It's both durable, it has great sustain, and it just pounds out the damage. As far as skips, you have Fading Memories, which allows you to drop aggro as long as you've dropped line of sight. And so this is a perfect engage, disengage, and jumping in between bosses. As far as gearing, it's about a 3.5. Again, this particular build requires you have some pretty good weapons and some pretty good gear. You're going to want to focus on that heroic dex and getting your attack up as high as possible. It's important to have a fast bow and a high damage bow. AAs, it doesn't take a whole lot of AAs for this build to come online, but once you get a majority of the bow AAs and the attack AAs, it's really going to shine. So again, a 3.5. We're going to go over a little leveling process. So essentially, we want to get you up to level 30. Once you hit 30, we're going to recommend that you go ahead and get Headshot. Headshot is a great skill that's going to help you power level yourself through humanoid NPCs, be it either Duloc Harbor, into Natix, into Dragon Necropolis, and so on and so forth. Make sure that while you're doing this, you're looking to gather as much heroic dex as possible so that you may trigger Headshot as much as possible. The following AAs are the path that we recommend you go. If you want to throw in combat agility, combat stability, planar durability, natural durability, or any other defensive skills, mystical attuning, things like that in between, I think you're absolutely fine in doing so. Just feel it out. If you're not doing enough damage, focus on the damage AAs. If you are doing enough damage, focus on the defensive AAs. So the order that we recommend is Headshot, Ferocity, Harmonic Assault or Harmonious Assault, and Trick Shot. Then we recommend you get all the rest of the multi-attack AAs, Guardians of the Forest, Frost Arrows and Flaming Arrows. Use the correct one for the right situation. Both Scotty and I typically run Frost Arrows, Dance of Blades, Hasten Blades, Precision of the Pathfinder, which even though it says it only affects melee attacks in the tooltip, it definitely affects bows as well. We tested this out. For your spell bar, we recommend using Remedy, Elixir, Flame Arrow, Fire Arrow, Anglic Screech, Jonathan's Inspiration, Nims, March of the Wii, Thong of Shields, Elemental Rhythm, Purifying Rhythm, and LCs. One of the reasons that we recommend running Remedy is it's a very fast casting decent heal. Elixir allows you to cast on yourself and then continue to shoot arrows while still healing. Flame Arrow and Fire Arrow both bring additional damage from your bow, and then all of the songs either provide you with some type of defensive buff or some type of offensive buff. LCs gives you just a pinch of hit point and mana regeneration in case the fight goes longer than expected. Instead of giving you a full-on, these are the best in slot items, we're going to talk about the stats that you need to make sure you focus on. First and foremost, heroic dex, then attack, then accuracy, then AC, and then heroic AGI. One of the reasons that these are important in this order is because you really want to make sure that you're critting as much as possible, and heroic dex is going to help you with that. Then you got to make sure those big crits are landing on your target, which means you have to focus on attack next. Accuracy also helps with that, obviously. Then a little bit of survivability through AC and heroic AGI. Remember, faster bow for headshots, slower bow, high damage for killing bosses. So it's usually a good idea to carry two. Vital notes with this: make sure you use your cooldowns, and make sure you learn what each one of your cooldowns does and understand when you want to use them versus when you want to hold on to them. Some places, like let's talk about NTOV, where there's a lot of dragons in a small area. Learning how to control your cooldowns and when to use what cooldowns can turn a 15-minute dragon run into a 5-minute dragon run. It's just about managing what is going to be up when and when you need what cooldowns to kill specific targets. I've included a few videos here just to show what Scotty does with his build, the order that he uses his AAs, how he uses his spell bar, and just the sheer power that this build can put out. See here where he's killing Bullock Air? Yeah, pretty damn fast run, if you ask me, and this wasn't even his best. Check it out, don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.